Ash Ketchum. This dude has been on a roll lately, and I have to say, I am super proud of him. He just won a league not too long ago, and his team for Journeys is looking great. Ash also caught a lot of Pokemon over the years, some powerful and some weak. He's also got a new team pretty much every gen, and today I wanted to analyze those powerful and weak teams by ranking them weakest to strongest. However, I only know so much, so that's why I decided to bring out one of the anti-Poke boys, Pokéraf.
Hey, what's going on guys, my name's Raf, and a huge thank you to the broski Mystic for having me on the channel today. Over the course of the Pokemon anime, Ash has caught a bunch of amazing pocket monsters and assembled his teams across the regions. However, let's just say that some didn't shine compared to others, and that's why we've joined forces today to rank each of Ash's Pokemon teams to see which were weakest and strongest. Be sure to check out the video we done on my channel when you guys are done, where we'll be exploring all of the Gigantamax Pokemon Ash almost owned in the Pokemon anime. There's a few surprises you don't want to miss. By the way guys, just remember that these rankings are based on our own opinion, and let us know what you think about them in the comment section down below. Okay, so let's just be straight up. Johto's at the bottom. When coming up with this list, Mystic and I were really tied between Johto and Univa, but we came to the conclusion that Johto just slipped to the bottom. Looking back at Ash's Johto team, there were some Pokemon that did push their weight in battles, gym battles, and the Silver Conference. But the one thing that we feel that was missing from Ash's Johto team is a sense of stability. Despite its little screen time, Heracross would probably be the ace of the Johto team. It had great moves and battle capabilities, allowing it to defeat Pokemon that had a type advantage compared to it. Bayleaf was also another strong Pokemon, defeating others that had a type advantage. Cyndaquil came clutch in some battles despite its size, but apart from that, other team members didn't really bag themselves the crucial wins compared to others. Noctowl wasn't such a good flying type, and if we look at the other flying type Pokemon Ash owns, I'm sure we can all agree. It was good though that we got to see its psychic powers later on during DP. Totodile was literally a comedic Pokemon that didn't really push any weight in the team to bag wins. It had a few decent attempts of victory in minor battles, but that was it. And as for Phanpy, well, it was a newly hatched Pokemon that just managed to defeat a Slugma, but it was good to see it return in AG and DP. Overall, Johto just lacked a lot of potential for certain Pokemon. Some did carry their weight, but seeing as others didn't, this made the scale dip, unfortunately placing it at the bottom of this list.
I have to talk about Univa. This team of Ashes, in my opinion, is by far my least favorite. However, it does have some power on it. First, we have a Snivy. Snivy has proven herself time and time again, being able to use Attract and just being overly all cunning with the way she battles. The next is the real powerhouse, and that's Krookodile. As we all know, Krookodile is a Pokemon that has an impressive track record across his Univa team. The battle it had against Iris was pretty epic, and it also helped Ash score some cool points in the Univa League, and it also eliminated Stefan from the tournament. As for the rest of his team though, I'm going to keep it brief. Oshawott is a very attention-seeking Pokemon, and I find it to be very annoying. However, it did help Ash win the Trio Badge. It helped defeat Steven's Blitzle, Clay's Croc, and it even helped Ash capturing Temple. Unpheasant? Yeah. Leavanny is actually decent, and one of my favorite Pokemon that he has on his Univa team. It won battles against Berg, and got Ash into the second round of the Junior Cup. Palpitoad is forgotten, but it's not bad. It got Ash to the final of the Nimbasa Pokemon Club battle, and it took down Elias's Zebstrika, and that's pretty much it. Boldore I forgot he even had, although I don't hate this thing. Boldore took down Excadrill getting the quick badge for Ash, and it also got Ash into the semifinals of the Junior Cup. So yeah, overall, this team is just not impressive, but it's better than Johto by a little bit.
Next up on the list we've got Hoenn. This team is a bit of mix and match. There were some great Pokemon, and others just didn't meet the expectations. Sceptile really made a staple in this team, coming clutch on many occasions, especially during its time as a Trico and Grovyle. Swellow was also another fantastic addition. From its very first encounter, to later on bagging wins during gym battles, the Victory Tournament, and even against Tucker in the Battle Frontier. Let's also not forget the iconic win against Winona's Shiny Swellow as well. I would bring up Thunder Armor also, but I think that's self-explanatory. Corphish was kind of decent. It managed to take down Flannery's Macargo and Juan's Love Disc, alongside teaming up with Swellow against Tucker. We really reckon if it evolved into Crawdon, this guy could have accomplished much more. Torkoal was simply a crybaby that had minimal impact on Ash's team. The amount of times this guy got knocked out in a single hit was just so infuriating. The worst thing about it is that this guy had a very powerful moveset, and that could have made it a very strong fire type amongst the other fire types Ash owns. It's a shame it wasn't executed correctly. I also feel sorry for it how it could have knocked over a soccer ball. Poor guy. Now Glalie was really an underrated Pokemon that allowed Ash to win some crucial matches, defeating a Charizard and Metang. both Pokemon that are super effective against it. I wish this Pokemon came back for some more screen time to develop. Hoenn was a pretty decent team overall, and to be fair, some of his Pokemon did help him a lot greatly in the Battle Frontier, but we're just talking about on an overall aspect.
Coming up, right after Ash's Hoenn team, we have his original Kanto team. Now, Ash's original Kanto team has a lot of power in it, regardless of if Bulbasaur and Squirtle are not fully evolved. Ash has proved time and time again that with non-fully evolved Pokemon, they can be just as powerful as any fully evolved Pokemon. Bulbasaur and Squirtle have also won a variety of victories for Ash, from the Pokemon League to the Orange Islands and even Johto. Up next is Charizard, and as we know, Charizard is one of Ash's most powerful Pokemon. However, Charizard can't carry the team. Plus there's also the fact that Charizard didn't obey Ash until the Orange Islands anyways. So a lot of the time, Ash only had a certain amount of Pokemon he could use to rely on. For example, Pikachu, Squirtle, Pidgeotto, Snorlax for a brief time, and then Bulbasaur. We all know what happened with Pidgeotto though. He released that Pokemon along with Lapras, Haunter, and Primeape. So Ash lost a lot of power when he released a lot of those Pokemon. I will admit though, he does have Pokemon like Kingler, Muck, and Tauros who have proved their mark in victories. Tauros didn't do bad in the Orange Islands, but it's not great. Kingler is stupid, but it won somehow. And Muck helped out in the Pokemon League against Bellsprout, so that's pretty great too. However, Ash only used these Pokemon for a few battles only. We don't truly know how strong these Pokemon are because of how inconsistent they are. With Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Squirtle, and Charizard though, with how much they've been through together, I will gladly place them here on this list, which is pretty much dead right smack in the middle. If Ash were to have used Muck and his other Pokemon consistently, I would have no problem including his Kanto team higher. His Pokemon are great. A lot of them just got released, and the others just didn't get a huge chance to shine.
Just missing out on the top 3 spot is Ash's Sinnoh team. This was a well-rounded team that played a huge contribution in getting Ash closer to the Lily of the Valley Conference. Staraptor was one of the cooler flying type Pokemon that Ash had under his belt. It managed to bag itself a few wins, and even the Pokeringer competition also was a nice touch, especially reminding us of Swellow and how it won its own Pokering, and of course, how both evolutions were the same. Since being traded from Dawn, Weasel managed to secure wins even performing some very unique combinations, the most popular being Counter Shield, Ice Aqua Jet, and the combination of Water Pulse and Aqua Jet together during the iconic battle between Maylene. Defeating its evolution was a highlight as well, and with the characteristics and battle focus mentality it had, it could be classed as one of Ash's strongest water types. Since evolving and training with Macan, Gliscor proved itself to be confident whilst keeping its goofy personality. The best win was against Paul's Drapion, defeating a Pokemon that took out 3 of Ash's Pokemon prior. With Gible only managing to secure 2 wins against Conway's Dusknoir and Shuckle, this is the only thing it had going for it. To be fair, it was caught late, and after mastering Draco Meteor and having the compliment from Tobias, it was quite heartwarming to see. If only we saw it evolve further. Moving on to Infernape, this guy's backstory sold it all for us, and it really solidified its power, finally taking down Paul in the Lily of the Valley Conference. The build up was great, and seeing it control its Berserk stage finally during the battle against Falconer just showed how far it came from its traumatic stages. Seeing it win various gym battles too during its primary stages was very impressive. The one Pokemon that was weighing this team down quite a lot was Torterra. This Pokemon was much better as a Turtwig, showing off great speed, and even as a Grotto it managed to pull some of its weight as well. However, upon evolving into its final stage, it just went really downhill, and lost a lot of potential of how strong it could have been. Paul's Torterra really overshadowed Ash's. Overall, Ash's Sinnoh team had a lot of great qualities, showing power, diversity and development. It's just a shame that a few Pokemon slacked a little bit for reaching the top 3 spots.
So, without spoiling too much about Journeys, this team is looking to be the strongest one. However, with not enough information present yet, we can't put it at the top. What we can do though, is put it in 3rd place. Ash has a Dragonite, a future Lucario, and a Gengar. If Ash keeps getting Pokemon like this, we're in for a ride. Dragonite battled Corina's Mega Lucario like a champion. Gengar is getting stronger, and with Riolu evolving soon, who knows how powerful that can be, especially with Ash's history with Aura. Who knows what other Pokemon he'll get? Only time will tell. And let me tell you, I'm excited. He also gets a newer Pokemon, but I won't spoil that. Overall though, this team is very powerful already, and I'm super excited to see the potential it brings to the competition.
Grabbing the silver medal today is Ash's Kalos team. During my time as an XY stan, I respected this team highly. With Ash Greninja being the pinnacle of the team, it still allowed others to do a good job. Starting with Hawlucha, we really loved this Pokemon's unique battle style. Being the elder brother to Noivern was a great touch, and seeing it avenge against Weavile showed off its determination. It's also shown off its great power in battle against Karina's Mewtwo, Clement's Heliolisk, Alon's Weavile, Astrid's Mega Absol, and even the Forest Machamp. Talonflame was a great flying type, gaining wins during the course of the duration against Ramos, Olympia, Karina, Wolfric, and even going head to head with Alan's Ugly Pigeon. Shame it didn't manage to grab the win against Moltres though. Hawlucha's younger brother Noivern was such a cool Pokemon, but its battle capabilities were just appalling, costing it from actually bagging some wins under its name. Goodra on the other hand was a Pokemon reaching for greatness, almost bagging a win in every match, apart from the one that it came back for the most importance. Oh boy, what happened here, broski? This Pokemon was a full-on beast. It's just a shame we never saw the beast unleash his true power in the Lumia's conference. And finally, we have the boy himself, Gigoga. There's so much I could say about Greninja, but I think it's just self-explanatory. The whole development it received from the start to now, alongside matching its raw power despite the fan popularity, really showed off how great it was in battle. Combining all of these aspects together, it really did create a solid team for Ash, and it could have been his best yet. But I'm sure we all know who's going to be right at the top, don't we, Mystic?
Yup. Coming up for Ash's strongest regional team, we have a Alolan one. Ash officially won a league with this team, having the power of Lycanroc, Naganadel, Incineroar, Rowlet, and Melmetal. Right off the bat, Ash already has 2 extremely powerful Pokemon, having an Ultra Beast and a Mythical. Not to mention, he's also got 2 very powerful fully evolved Pokemon, being a starter and one of the most powerful Pokemon of Gen 7 being Lycanroc. Hopping into the first 2 Pokemon I mentioned, Naganadel has a very powerful arc within the series. It appeared as a Poipole and magically appeared to help Ash defeat Kukui. Lycanroc trained its butt off and took down Olivia's Lycanroc. Ash's Torracat had a huge rivalry with Kukui's Incineroar, and that was also very powerful to see. Rowlet is probably my favorite though, due to it having the Squirtle and Bulbasaur treatment. That essentially means non-fully evolved Pokemon can flourish and be strong. Rowlet defeated How's Decidueye in the league, so that was really cool to see some non-fully evolved Poke power. Melmetal is kind of just there, but it's still powerful. I mean, hey, it's still mythical, right? Other than that though, this team won him a championship, and thus, I congratulate Ash on a well-earned victory. Well, that pretty much wraps up this ranking analysis of all of Ash's teams, weakest to strongest. I feel Raph and I actually did a pretty good job ranking these, and I feel we also provided pretty good reasonings for how they were placed. Of course though, let us know how you feel down below. Also, huge shout out again for Raph for joining me on this awesome ranking list.
Thanks so much for having me, bro. It was a blast going through these rankings with you. But don't forget guys, the fun doesn't stop here. Be sure to check out the video we done on my channel where we'll be exploring all of the Gigantamax Pokemon that Ash almost owned. You can find the video located in the description, iCard, and endcard as well.
If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream all sorts of games from Pokemon to Fire Emblem to Zelda and much more. I also have an anime channel called MysticSage where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me their support over there and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.